Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode. We're working on Unit 3, Lessons 1 and 2. Our topic of the day is great jobs. So I want you to consider the kind of jobs that you think are great. Let's get started. Can you match the names, dates of birth, and jobs to the photos? So we have Magdi Yaqub, Princess Fatma Ismail, Omar Abdel Qadir, and Samira Musa. If you're not sure, you can always look them up to check. So one of them is a scientist, the other is a surgeon, the third is a patron, and the fourth is a sports coach. So we need to match them according to the pictures. They are very inspirational people. So the first photo is Omar Abdel Qadir. He was born in 1994 and he is a sports coach. As for picture 2, that is Samira Musa. She's a very well-known Egyptian scientist. She was born on 1917. And the third picture is Magdi Yaqub, or Sir Magdi Yaqub, and he is a very popular heart surgeon. He was born in 1935. As for the fourth picture, that is Princess Fatma Ismail. She was a patron and she was born on 1853. Now, I want you to look through the unit and find out what ancient Egyptian doctors used plants for. And then research, what job does a nursing manager do? Of course, a nursing manager helps to teach younger nurses or to help them train or practice. Now, you can share what you know about the people in the photos on the previous slide, and then we're going to listen to someone talking about the people in the photos and check your answers to exercise 1 afterwards. Photo 1 shows Omar Abdel Qadir. He was born in 1994. When Omar was 22, a shark attacked him and he lost a leg. But this did not stop him wanting to be successful. Now he helps other people with similar problems and he is an important sports coach. Photo 2 shows Samira Musa. Samira was born in 1917 and studied science at Cairo University. She was Egypt's first female nuclear scientist and wanted to use nuclear treatments in medicine. She died in 1952. Photo 3 shows Magdi Yaqub. He was born in Cairo, 1935. He went to Cairo University and became an important heart surgeon. He then helped people with heart problems for many years. He stopped most of his work a long time ago, but in 2006, he started a charity to help children with heart problems. Photo 4 shows Princess Fatma Ismail. The princess was the daughter of Khidewi Ismail and she was born in 1853. She became a patron of Egypt's first national university after she gave a lot of money and land to help it to open in 1908. From 1908 to 1940, people called it the Egyptian University, but it is now called Cairo University. So, the first photo is Omar Abdel Qadir, 1994, sports coach. The second is Samira Musa, 1917. She was a nuclear scientist. And number 3 is Magdi Yaqub, or Sir Magdi Yaqub, 1935. He is a heart surgeon. Number 4, Princess Fatma Ismail, 1853. She was a patron and she took part in building Cairo University. Now we're going to complete these sentences from exercise 2 with the correct past time expression. Then listen again and check your answers. So you can always double check by rewinding the video and listening one more time. So the expressions we're going to use today are ago, for, from, in, to, and when. So when is used in the first sentence. Let's read it together. When Omar was 22, a shark attacked him and he lost a leg. Now we're going to move on to number 2. Samira Musa was born. If we're talking about a specific year, we will say she was born in 1917. Number 3, Magdi Yaqub helped people with heart problems blank many years. And the answer is for many years. So we use this expression if we're talking about multiple number of years. Number 4, Magdi stopped most of his work as a surgeon for a long time blank. Of course, if we're talking about something from the past, we can say ago. Magdi stopped most of his work as a surgeon a long time ago. And number 5, we're going to fill in 2 blanks. If we're talking about a specific time from a specific year to the other, we will say from 1908 to 1940, people called it the Egyptian University. Now, I'd like you to complete the sentences with your own answers. I went to primary school for blank years. We can say for many years. Number 2, I started preparatory school blank years ago. You can say 5 years ago or 2 years ago. Number 3, when I was 12, I could ride a bike. And number 4, yesterday I was at school from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. You can always create different answers to these questions. Now, I want you to look for the verbs in exercises 3 and 4, then write them correctly in the column. The first one is done for us, which is a regular verb, attacked, and an irregular verb, was. So what is the difference between a regular verb and an irregular verb? A regular verb usually doesn't really change its form if it changes from one form of a verb to another. However, the irregular verb changes the whole setting or the whole kind of way it is written. That's why there's a difference between the regular and the irregular verbs. Let's get started and see. So the regular verbs are attacked, helped, stopped, called, and started. So if the verb attack in the present tense needs to be changed into the past, we just add ed, as you can see with the regular verbs. As for the irregular verbs, they are was, born, lost, and went. So they are irregular verbs because they usually change their form. Now we will move on to our speaking section. I want you to work with a partner in your house, ask and answer questions together. What makes a hero? Think of a hero from another country. What did he or she do? So think about who is your hero and share with a partner, and then think of a hero from another country and share what did he or she do. Now we're going to move on to lesson 2. Do you know the team in the photo? Which sport do you think these players do? Try to guess. Look at their sportswear in the picture to see what sport are they playing and what team they are in. And then let's read together and we'll check if you are correct or not. Egyptian heroes. The Egyptian handball team are heroes. They won the Handball Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia in 2020. They won the final against Tunisia 27-23. That means they are the best team in Africa. This is not the first time Egypt's handball team played in a final. In 2019, the junior team won the Under-19 World Cup final 32-28 against Germany. They were the first team from Africa to win. In 2018, the senior team were also in the final of the Africa Cup of Nations, but lost the final against Tunisia. Now, lots of people in Egypt love the sport. Let's hope the Egyptian team can win competitions again. Now let's check our answer together. This team is the Egyptian handball team. Now, I want you to use the words in the word box at the top to fill in the blanks. Look at the words in bold in the text. Match the words and the definitions. Number 1. A sport with 7 players in a team. They score by throwing the ball into a goal. This is, of course, handball. So, in the handball team, we have 7 players each. Number 2, events when people try to get a prize by being the best at something. Of course, this is definitely called a competition or competitions. The opposite of lost is won. So, winning is a good thing, losing is a negative feeling. Now, for number 4, for younger people, blank, and for older people. So, for younger people, we use the word junior. If you're a junior, it means you just started school or you just started university. But if you are older, you're a senior, you're probably in the last year of university or the last year of school. This is called senior. Read the article again and then choose whether these statements are true or false. Number 1 is done for us. Let's read it together. The Egyptian handball team won an important competition in 2020. This is true. Number 2, the final in 2020 was in Tunisia. This is, of course, true as well. Good job, guys. And number 3, in 2010, the Egyptian handball team won the final against Tunisia. Do you think this is true? In 2010, did the Egyptian team win against Tunisia or did they lose? Actually, this is false. It was in 2020. As for number 4, the senior Egyptian handball team won the World Cup final in 2019. This is false. It was the junior team that won. It was not the senior team. Number 5, teams from Africa usually win the handball World Cup final. Is this true? Are only the African teams winning the handball World Cup final? This is false. Egypt was from the first team to win it, not teams from Africa. Number 6, the senior Egyptian handball team did not win the final in 2018. This is, of course, true. Very good, guys. Number 7, the Tunisian team were the best team in Africa in 2019. You can always check from the article. Of course, the answer is true. Number 7 is true. And number 8, many people in Egypt like handball. This is true. Now we're going to go to our language section. We're going to listen and then let's try to pronounce the ed endings on the words in 3 ways. See how they are being pronounced differently in these past simple verbs. One, started, helped, played. 2, wanted, married, lived, needed, liked, talked. So make sure you pronounce the words correctly. First 3 words are different from the sound at the end of the next words in number 2. Now you can listen again if you need to and then write the words correctly. So if it sounds like id, like started, we write it under the first column. If the ed sound sounds like t, such as helped, then we write it in the middle column. And if it sounds like played, we write it in the third column. So in the first column, we're going to write started, wanted, and needed. In the second column, we're going to write words like helped, liked, and talked. Pay attention to the t sound at the end when I pronounce it. Now we will move on to the third sound, which is played, married, and lived. Good job, guys. You can listen one more time and practice pronouncing those verbs. Now, I'd like you to reorder the words to make past simple questions. The first one is done for us. What were the Egyptian junior team the first team to do? Number 2. When did they win the World Cup final? So we always start with a W question or WH question. Now we're going to move on to number 3. What did the Egyptian senior team win in 2020? Number 4. Where did Egypt win this competition? Number 5. Who won the African Cup of Nations in 2018? You can always rewind and try again if you need to. Now work with a partner, ask and answer questions in exercise 6. The question was, what were the Egyptian junior team the first team to do? They were the first team from Africa to win the World Cup final. When did they win the World Cup final? They won it in 2019. What did the Egyptian senior team win in 2020? They won the African Cup of Nations. Number 4. Where did Egypt win in this competition? They won it in Tunisia. Who won the African Cup of Nations in 2018? Tunisia won the African Cup of Nations in 2018. Now, I'd like you to jump to our speaking section and discuss these with a partner. Why is teamwork important from your point of view? Which team do you like and why? Did the team win many games last year? Why or why not? And when did your favorite team last win a competition? Would you like to play in a team? Why? So, once you ask your partner and your partner answers, you can wait for your partner to ask you the same question and also share your answer. Now we're going to work in pairs, ask and answer questions about the past using some of these verbs. Be, help, learn, like, live, play, and want. Where did your parents live when they were young? They lived in Tanta. So you can create your own questions using those verbs. Where did you learn English? I learned English in Cairo. Now, for our exit ticket of the day, I'd like you to use 3 regular and 3 irregular verbs to explain or describe what you did yesterday. I want you to write a paragraph about an Egyptian hero using the past tense, and I'd like you to surf the internet to gather information about other sports teams who won international competitions. Thank you guys, that's a wrap. This was Ms. Sarah Bassioni. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.